Yeah, so. It was a bad day. Seriously. I'm not even shitting you. I mean, it wasn't a bad day. Like, eating chocolate. Because I needed chocolate today. I hope you can hear me. I don't feel like talking very loud. So, let me move. I'll do that. Because I don't feel like talking very loud today. Actually wasn't like a bad day. Because it was weird. Because it started out like... I'm sorry if it's like... My mom always told me not to eat or talk with my mouth full. Fuck it, I don't care. It was kind of weird because we're like hypomanic almost. I was really like running around like a damn fool. It was almost embarrassing, and not embarrassing. Well, it was kind of embarrassing. Hold on, I'm just gonna take these off. It was kind of embarrassing because I was walking around and I went to work today because I really wasn't feeling bad or anything. And I take a lot of days off work sometimes, like mental health days. So I try really hard to keep working. But and today was kind of one of those where it was going so fast. Like, I was going so fast that I couldn't, like, zone in on anything. I think I had the same spreadsheet open for, like, damn, all afternoon, like 3-4 hours. And I'm, like, staring at it. My boss was, like, in a meeting or something, so it's not like he was watching. Because he sits, like, right behind me. And that always is weird. I have, like, 15 spreadsheets open all the time. And people just think they must think I have, like, severe ADD. Which I really don't. It's just that sometimes I, like, rotate my spreadsheets if I'm not, like, working on them. Just to make it appear that I'm working on something. That's a dirty little secret. Don't tell my boss. I'm sure he's not going to watch this, so I really don't care. I tried to get up and walk a lot. And, like, I don't know if anybody really noticed. I mean, people are usually too wrapped up in their own shit to notice what I'm doing. Unless I'm feeling, like, exceptionally paranoid that day. And I legitimately will believe that everybody's watching me. But I think everybody gets that way. I was just, like, I could not calm down. There was, like, 3 times I went into the bathroom and I'm like, okay, you need to calm your shit. You need to calm your shit right now because you look like a fool. You look like an idiot. That's my last piece of chocolate. Goddamn. You look like an idiot. You need to calm your shit. So, I couldn't. Like, I literally couldn't. I would have murdered somebody for, like, a Xanax or a Klonopin or something. Like, I literally would have. It was bad. It was, like, because this happened actually on Tuesday. Like 3 days ago. Did I say it was Friday? I might have said that, like, 3 times, actually. This actually happened on Tuesday, and I called my doctor about it. And I'm like, I think I had an anxiety attack today. It was really bad. Like, my heart wouldn't, like, stop. Like, it was, like, so fast. And it was, like, a race right out of my chest, you know. And I was, like, shaking, like, legit shaking. Like, it felt weird because there was a few times where I would go to, like, drink my coffee. And yes, I was drinking coffee, so that might have added to it. But I didn't really have that much. And actually, at the end of the day, I switched to water just because, it's kind of like a reflex. You know, it's there, so I'm gonna drink it. But there was a few times when I, like, was drinking my coffee and, like, the coffee mug was, like, shaking. And it must have looked so bad. Like, oh my god, it must have looked so bad. But I couldn't stop it. And it was, like, it was Friday, so everybody's just kind of milling around. And they're just kind of, like, you know, they're basically all up in my business. Not talking to me, they're just, like, standing around me. And I'm just, like, getting, oh my god, would you please go sit down? You're killing me. Or if they wouldn't, because they were just talking. Because it was Friday, whatever. Everybody wants to be social but me. It just kind of kept getting worse throughout the day. I mean, even after I stopped drinking coffee, it got really bad. I don't know what really happened. It was just like, it started out good. Like, it was a good day. Like, the morning was actually really productive. And then I, like, went to lunch, and it just all went to crap. I did, like, nothing in the afternoon. Nothing. I can't even tell you. And I got up, like, every 15 minutes to go to the bathroom, probably because I was drinking, like, a gallon of water an hour, you know. But, that is way beside the point. So I get home, and, like, by the time I leave work, like, I walked out and I was, like, talking to somebody, or I'm trying to talk to somebody. And I think I ended up okay. Like, I don't think that they thought I was a total idiot, but, like, I had to concentrate really hard to form sentences, like, really hard to form my sentences. And I didn't have, on Tuesday I had the problem where I couldn't really walk in a straight line. I didn't really have that problem today, thank God. But, because my effort went to walking in a straight line. Today, at least, I didn't have to use my effort to walk in a straight line. My effort was more, speech. And so I didn't sound like an idiot. But then I get home, and we were supposed to go to dinner. 6 minutes. I should just put on my glasses, I guess. That would be the smart thing to do. We were going to go to dinner. And, like, my husband and I. Ooh, excuse me. We were going to go to dinner. That was chocolate. And with our 2-year-old, which is always fun. Like, she doesn't do dinner very well. Like, she'll do breakfast really well. But she won't do dinner. Oh, God, she's just a handful. And then maybe, like, halfway through dinner. Well, it wasn't halfway. It was, like, towards the beginning of dinner, like, before, like, as they were giving us our menus. My husband, like, tells me something that he's going to do the next day that I didn't want him to do. Like, it's not that I didn't want him to do it. I just wasn't expecting him to tell me that he was going to do this thing. Actually, I wasn't expecting him, like, oh, I'm going to go hang out with my friends tomorrow. I wasn't expecting it, you know. And whenever I kind of, like, get ambushed like that, it makes me panic, like, legit panic. I don't know why. Like, I try not to. I think it's, like, a complete irrational reaction. I know it's a complete irrational reaction. It doesn't matter. It's just a little thing. And it really is a little thing. And, like, the entire dinner was, like, just really awkward. And I felt like everybody in the restaurant was, like, staring at us. And then, and I mean, it might have been our 2-year-old. Our 2-year-old's, like, the size. Like, she just went to her doctor. And she turned 2 a couple months ago. And, they said, yeah, she's the size of a 3-year-old. Like, she's huge. She's a massive child. So everybody in the restaurant probably thought we just had a 4-year-old that we couldn't control, you know, or a 3-year-old that we couldn't control. Because even a 3-year-old would act, you know, a lot better than a 2-year-old, you know. But she's 2, you know. You can't really control her. You can kind of work with her a tiny bit. But anybody who's ever had a 2-year-old, holy Lord. So I felt like when we left, like, a lot of people were happy that we were leaving. It was that kind of day. And I'm sure they could tell, like, I don't know, like, I felt like I was getting that look, you know, the pity/fear look. Like, I don't know, it was just weird. And that might have been, like, my paranoia, but it was just very bizarre. Like, it felt like everybody was looking at us as we were walking out. But, I get home, and then, like, immediately, like, my daughter wasn't going to bed for, like, an hour, but I just couldn't stop myself. Like, I started crying. And then my husband's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, and it was just, like, everything. Like, I couldn't even pinpoint, like, this is what's wrong. There was just, like, because I was, like, that was the trigger. Him telling me he was going to do this thing that I didn't necessarily want him to do. But I didn't have a rational reason to tell him that I didn't want him to do it, other than the fact that it messed up my mental schedule, which is a stupid reason, and I recognize that as a stupid reason. So I, like, start crying, and he's like, what's wrong? I don't have to hang out with him. It's not a big deal, you know. And I mean, he was upset a little bit about it because he was really excited to do it, you know. But so I knew he really didn't mean it. But he would have, you know, like, he is, like, he's not going to hang out with them tomorrow. And, like, he was supposed to go to work tomorrow. but he called off, like he was going to call off to go hang out with them. So ultimately, like it was like a 3-hour breakdown, like a breakdown. Like he, at one point, he's a paramedic, so he gets like the health issues and stuff. Like he gets it a little. Like for somebody who's never experienced it, he gets it a little. So there was one point where he like literally reached for his keys, like he was going to take me to the hospital, and I almost didn't have a choice. And he asked me like 10 times, like, do you want to go somewhere? Do you want to go somewhere? Maybe you need some help somewhere that's not here. Some help that I can't provide for you, and you need to be somewhere where they can help you. And I'm like, I don't want to go. I'm not going. This isn't a debate. I'm not going. If you take me, I'm not. I'm going to run out of the car. I'm not going. And probably should have gone, if we're being perfectly honest, because I still don't feel like I feel better, you know. But it was kind of like a crash, like you would not believe. It was intense. It was really, really intense, and I knew it was coming because right before it happened, it was like an anxiety attack, just like Tuesday. You know, just like Tuesday. I mean, it was just intense. I mean, he took the day off. Like, he is going to call off work tomorrow, but he's going, because he even told me, he's like, I don't want to leave you alone. Because there was a few times where I told him, I'm like, oh, that's the cat. I thought my husband was coming in. There was a few times he told me, or I told him, I'm like, I don't even want to be here anymore. And he's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I just don't want to be here. Whatever that means, you know, whatever that means. Like, I just want to leave, you know. I want to go. I'm done, you know. And I don't want to go to the hospital. I just want to go. I'm done. And eventually I calmed down. Like, right about the time my daughter goes to bed. Maybe a little bit after that. You know? No. Yeah. I think I actually just finally calmed down like an hour ago. But like the hardcore crying was like an hour and a half. From the time we got home to the time my daughter went to bed. I think I said earlier in this in the video it was an hour, but I want to say it was actually like an hour and a half. So it was like an hour and a half. And I think early in the video I also said it was like a 3-hour breakdown. But the main part of it was like an hour and a half. And then I started to finally calm down about maybe an hour ago. So it was about a 3-hour, like, oh my God. And the last hour and a half, like the second hour and a half, was just me kind of sitting there like, you know, and he's like, what's wrong? You know, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm just done. I'm just done. It's kind of like over-emoting everything and like getting everything out. And then you're just like, all right, I'm done. So that was my day. That was my day. That was my nervous breakdown for the day. That was fun. Let's hope. Let's hope tomorrow's better. Who knows, right? You never know.